Today, I think, is the 6th of July 2021. I was just taking a quick jaunt around my place looking at things that are growing. These are, this is a bed of caldula. I don't even have to replant I don't replant these. These are annuals. They reseed themselves, and I have really been lacking at getting to the plants because a lot of them go on to seed, and I like to clip the spent flowers. There's a lot of native pollinators on these. The honeybees don't seem to like them. This is borage. If you look, there's bumblebees all over them. Bumblebees love borage. I have no idea what that is. I didn't even plant that. I don't know what that is. That's phlox. There's a few sunflowers that kind of came up on their own. That's a herb called mullein. I get a few of those every year. So anyway, and what a crazy year this has been, because here's my zucchini, and I normally plant flowers here, and I went with miniature zinnias and some sunflowers. So there's some small zinnias there and some sunflowers. Well, what happened is I planted everything late, and the earwig population is so bad that they ate everything that came up. I mean, they destroyed everything. I had a valuable lesson. I mean, I don't know what I planted here, but it got destroyed. I just dug it up. And let's see, these are collards. That's about the only thing that actually came up without getting destroyed. So sorry. I see a weed, it's got to come out. So, but it's just ridiculous. And then cucumbers look pathetic. They had just absolutely pathetic. I just cucumbers and chard. So it's just the only thing that's looking really good is the zucchini, and the zucchini's looking okay, and the tomatoes look fantastic. And they're 5 feet high. So yeah, I got devastated by earwigs, and just never seen so many of them. And I think they had to do with having a very warm, dry spring. So, yeah, the martins are going a little crazy, but that's okay. But that's not really what I wanted to film here. I just wanted to film something real quick. And this is for people with purple martins. I've got a lot of martins here this year. It's probably more than I've ever had. 95 pairs of them. I'm shocked, to be honest with you. Technically, I'm already full. So, I think I'm going to add a couple houses. I have room for 3 more when it comes down to it. But what I wanted to say was, every day, what you should do, if you're paying attention, you should walk around your martin houses, the bottom of them, and just check things out. The reason I do that is I want to make sure there's no remains of anybody that got killed during the night. This is my dancing man. He gets plugged in and he gets moved every night. This has worked real well for me to keep the owls away, but I have to move it every night. It also keeps the deer away too. So what you should do is you should always walk around the bases of your martin houses and just look for things. Look for feathers, anything out of place, dead babies pulled out. This time of year you have subadult males with no mate who are trying to break up a pair bond, and they throw out eggs and they throw out small babies. And you should, you know, just every morning, that's what you should do if you got time. Really, I think it's important. My grass is longer than it should be, but this is what I wanted to show people. Now I got a lot of chickens running the yard, so there's always feathers. So it's important to know what feathers belong to what. Okay, this here is the feather of it's a contour feather actually, or an underlying contour feather of a great horned owl. Now, how do I know this? You see how wispy that is? See how wispy this feather is? This is what makes owls soundproof when they fly. All of their feathers have edges like this, where they're not tight. So when owls fly, they make no sound at all. They're silent flyers. So I found this in the grass. Not yesterday, the day before, because I didn't have the dancing man on. I didn't have my little scarecrow, moving scarecrow dummy out. So I found this in the yard. So what does this mean? Well, it's very simple. It means that a great horned owl was in the yard. Up to no good. You know, checking these martins, or trying to flush martins out of the house, trying to do something. So this is the number one way that you know that you got an owl hanging around. They shed feathers real easily. I don't know what the heck that's about, but you know, if they're coming around beating on the boxes, if they're beating on the martin houses, they leave a feather. So anytime you see a feather that's wispy like this, and that's what I call it wispy. When I found it, it was wet from dew, so what I did is I put it on this bluebird feeder to dry out, and just so I could take a look at it and make sure it wasn't a chicken feather. Now, it's important. You know, there's people who think, well, I don't have any owl problems. Well, let me tell you something. When you got purple martins, you got owls visiting. And unless your county is secure in some fashion, unless your housing is secure, there's nothing you can do to prevent them from getting on top of those birdhouses. There's nothing you can do. You can put all the cages you want. You can put cages till you're blue in the face. You can have a configuration for the compartments to keep the owls from grabbing them, but that doesn't stop them from flushing out the birds to grab them. The best way to do it is just try to keep the owls away whatever way you can. And I have found that the best way for me has been that dancing man. And what I do is I do not keep that on every night. I move it around too when it is on. I don't want them getting used to it being in one spot at one time, because it becomes worthless. If owls are frightened of people, if they're frightened of people and anything that looks like a person and it's moving around at night, and you move that thing in different spots, it works for the deer, it works for the owl. But the point is, you can't let them get used to seeing it all the time. So there are nights that you don't use it. And I try to, like if it's really raining, if we got a rainy night, I don't use it. And then I move it. I'll put it over there. I'll put it over here. I'll put it underneath. I'll put it back there. I do not keep it in the same spot every night. And like I said, I don't use it every night. So anyway, I hope that is of use to some people with martins. Once again, there's an owl feather. Study your feathers. Look at feathers. You know, the nice thing about purple martins open a window to the natural world, and it teaches you to be observant. And it is one of the things I like to do is try to help people to be observant to what goes on in their property. If you don't know how to tell feather, if you can't tell one feather from another, what good is it? I find feathers all the time. Like I said, I got you know, 30, 40 pigeons running around. I got about 50 I should say I got 30, I think around 30 chickens running around in various sizes, various breeds with different colored feathers. I got pigeons, at least maybe 50 pigeons flying through the yard every day, and they're laying in the grass. So you got to keep an eye open. And then when owls or birds of prey generally make a kill, they'll take that prey item and they'll fly somewhere where they can eat it safely, and what they do is they will pick it. So you'll have a small pile of feathers somewhere. And I look for that too. I look around to see where, one of the things that owls like to do is they like to perch on these bluebird boxes. And if they kill something, a lot of times they'll pluck it and they'll leave a pile of feathers down there. I haven't had that problem, but I have seen that with rabbits. So just pay attention and be observant. Till next time.